Welcome to the First Mold Insights, where we talk about injection molding, rapid tooling, product development, and real world manufacturing insights. Today's topic is top CNC machine brands. So, Alex, when we talk about CNC machines, it's a huge category. Before we even dive into specific brands, could you just give us a quick rundown on the different types of CNC machines out there? Because I imagine what you're trying to make really dictates the kind of machine you need, right?
Yeah, exactly, Mia. People often categorize CNC machines by their application process, which makes a lot of sense. We're talking about everything from machining centers and mills to lathes, grinders, even laser and plasma cutters. They all fall under the CNC umbrella, but they do very different things.
Huh, interesting. So, what are some of the core differences that someone should know about?
Well, probably the most common ones you'll hear are CNC machining centers and CNC milling machines or mills. Now, they're super similar. Both use a numerical control system, have 3 feed axes, and a rotating spindle. They can essentially do the same processing operations like milling, drilling, and tapping.
Okay, so what's the big distinction then? If they do similar things?
Right. The main difference is the automatic tool changer. A machining center has one. That means it can automatically switch between tools during a job. You set up the program, load your tools, and it just goes, completing multiple operations after one clamping without manual intervention. It's continuous.
Oh, so a CNC mill then would require someone to manually swap tools?
Precisely. A mill can still do multiple operations after one clamping, but you're stopping, changing the tool by hand, then restarting. It breaks the workflow, makes it discontinuous. So, machining centers usually offer better quality and efficiency, and naturally, they'll cost you more. But for many applications, that automation is a game changer.
That makes perfect sense. So, beyond milling and drilling, what else do we see frequently?
You've got CNC turning machines or lathes, which are fundamentally different. Instead of the tool moving around a stationary workpiece on a lathe, the chuck and spindle hold the workpiece and spin it against a stationary cutting tool. These are your go-to for complex cylindrical shapes.
And I've heard they can achieve some really tight tolerances, right?
Absolutely. We're talking tolerances as strict as plus or minus 4 micrometers for cylindrical shapes. They're ideal for things like taper turning, knurling, drilling, and reaming. But, the accuracy can decrease a bit with thicker workpieces.
Okay, so we've got milling, drilling, turning. What about finishing operations or really specialized cutting?
Good point. For high precision finishing, there are CNC grinding machines. They use rotating abrasive wheels to cut material, and many even have intelligent thermal control systems to compensate for temperature changes that could affect precision. That makes them perfect for things like drive shafts or camshafts, where you need a super smooth surface.
And for cutting sheet material, I'm thinking lasers or plasma.
You got it! CNC laser cutting machines use a high-intensity laser beam to melt and cut material. They're incredibly precise and versatile, great for metals, plastics, hardwood, even etching logos. Then you have CNC plasma cutting machines, which are similar, but use a plasma torch generating ionized gas up to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If the material is conductive, plasma can cut through it seamlessly.
50,000 degrees? Wow, that's intense. Any other specialized cutting methods we should know about?
Yeah, 2 more big ones. There's CNC electrical discharge machines or EDMs. These use electrical sparks from a metal tool to cut, and they also require the workpiece to be conductive. EDMs are fantastic for microslots, holes, and angular features on really hard-to-machine metals like high-carbon steel. And then, for materials sensitive to heat, you've got CNC waterjet cutting machines. They use high-pressure water, or a mix of water and abrasive, to cut. Unlike laser or plasma, T here is no heat, so it's perfect for low thermal resistance materials like aluminum and certain plastics that would just melt otherwise.
That's a great overview of the different types. It really highlights how diverse the CNC world is. So, with all these different machines, it makes sense that different manufacturers might specialize or excel in certain areas. Let's talk about the top brands. The article ranks them based on market value and reputation. Who are some of the big players there?
Well, one of the first names that comes to mind, globally renowned, is MAZAK from Japan. They've been around since 1919 and make everything: lathes, multitasking centers, laser systems. They're known for speed and precision in automotive, electronics, medical, you name it. They actually have 10 manufacturing plants worldwide.
10 plants? That's quite a footprint.
It is. Their Oguchi plant in Japan, for instance, was established in '61 and is designed for incredibly high precision assembly with strict controls over temperature, humidity, and vibration. Every piece of equipment there is networked, collecting millions of data points daily. It's pretty advanced.
That's serious engineering. Who else is a standout in that top tier?
Another giant is TRUMPF from Germany. They're a global leader in manufacturing technology and a pioneer in Industry 4.0. They started in 1923 but really ventured into lasers in the 60s, and by the 80s they were leading the pack. Their R&D investment is huge, nearly 10% of their turnover.
I've heard TRUMPF mentioned in relation to semiconductors too. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. They play a crucial role in the semiconductor industry, especially with ASML's EUV lithography machines. TRUMPF's high-power laser amplifiers are essential for generating the light plasma needed for EUV exposure, which, is critical as semiconductor structures shrink to atomic sizes. It's pretty cutting-edge stuff.
That's a huge impact on modern tech. What about DMGMORI? They're often seen as a blend of German and Japanese engineering, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a joint venture between Germany's DMG and Japan's MORISEIKI. They combine decades of expertise, and they're a key player in high-end manufacturing globally. They make everything from 3-axis to 5-axis, turn mill centers, even ultrasonic and laser processing machines. They're constantly pushing innovation, especially in aerospace and automotive.
Aerospace. That's a demanding industry. What makes DMGMORI stand out for that?
They actually claim to possess all the production technologies for the aerospace sector. I mean, they're saying that without their machining of parts, planes might not fly. They offer high-tech machines for things like landing gears, engines, blades made from titanium or high-temp alloys, parts requiring really high torque and power. Plus, some of their machines even come with a 3-year warranty, which is pretty unusual in this industry. It shows confidence.
That's impressive. So those are some of the market leaders. But, on the shop floor, sometimes market value doesn't perfectly translate to absolute precision or capability. I know we at First Mold, from our own experience, often look at machines in terms of performance tiers. Could you explain that difference?
Right, exactly. Market value and reputation are one thing, but actual machining precision and capability are another. From our perspective, and what we see on the shop floor, we break it down into 4 tiers based on that pure accuracy and capability.
Okay, so what's in Tier 1? These must be the absolute pinnacle.
They are. Tier 1 is your ultra-premium brands in machining centers, Swiss Micron, German Hermel, GROB, names like that. These machines are almost flawless in every aspect: design, innovation, precision. But here's the catch. They have very low production volumes, and their prices and operating costs are prohibitively high. You only choose them if you absolutely need that level of precision and can justify the cost.
So they're esteemed, but not widely used day to day then.
Not for mass production, no. Even though the quality is exceptional, business success isn't guaranteed by just having them. In fact, some of these ultra premium brands have changed hands over time. It's a niche, high end market. And the quality of a machine tool ultimately comes down to the material, the machining level, component quality, and crucially, assembly quality. Unlike cars, machine tools are largely assembled manually. So, the skill of the technicians and tight deadlines can make it hard for mass-produced machines to maintain that absolute top-tier quality consistently. That's why some top-selling manufacturers aren't in this tier.
That's a critical insight, the human element in assembly. So, if Tier 1 is for the absolute extreme, what's Tier 2 look like?
Tier 2 is where you find the backbone of world-class machinery production. These are brands like Germany's DMG, Japan's Moriseki, Okuma, Mazak, Makino, and America's MAG. They consistently rank high in global sales. They're produced in medium to small batches with controlled quality, and they're used to manufacture high-profit products. They're more affordably priced than Tier 1, but still premium.
So, these are the machines that most top-tier manufacturing facilities would have.
Exactly. They solve complex machining problems, and their fame often surpasses Tier 1 because they're more widely used. A substantial machining enterprise would find it hard to claim their products are top-notch without a few of these Tier 2 brands on their floor.
And then Tier 3? What role do those machines play?
Tier 3 includes brands like Haas from the USA, South Korea's Doosan, and many from Taiwan like YCM. These are the primary machine tool brands for many Asian manufacturers. They're moderately priced, durable, and reliable. While many companies producing top-tier products might have a few Tier 1 or 2 machines, for actual mass production where you need consistency and efficiency without the ultra-premium price tag, Tier 3 machines are absolutely crucial. They ensure product quality and production efficiency at scale.
So, they're the workhorses essentially. And what about Tier 4?
Tier 4 is primarily local brands from various countries. They offer more affordable options and hold a good portion of their domestic markets. They're continuously working to improve their machining accuracy and overall level of equipment. They might not have the global recognition, but they're important players in their regions.
That really clarifies the landscape, Alex. It's not just about brand recognition, but about matching the tool to the task and the budget.
Yeah, ultimately, whether you're looking at an ultra-premium machine for a specific high-precision job or a reliable workhorse for volume production, it really comes down to matching the machine to your specific project needs and, of course, your budget. T here is no single best machine, only the best one for the job at hand.
Thanks for tuning in. For more manufacturing resources or custom part production services, visit firstmold.com. We'll see you next time.